Underdog Fantasy continues to be one of the most fun, most diverse, most option-filled ways to make some money while watching your favorite sport. And I know option-filled isn't quite a normal vernacular, but the reality is Underdog Fantasy has quite literally more options per fighter than any other platform in this space. If you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than any of the numbers you see on the screen, and if you are correct, you can make a whole bunch of money. It's very fun. It's very straightforward, and they will give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do to get that free money is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and the free money comes flowing. It's flowing. You're bathing yourself in free money. wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. I'm going to focus very squarely on the UFC Atlanta fight card. I'm going to build an entry for that. But if you take a look across the top, they have every sport you can imagine. They have, what is this? Is this rugby? I guess they have rugby. They have softball. Australian softball? If that doesn't tell you what you need to know, then I don't know what does. It's every sport you could ever imagine. You can even mix and match sports. We're going to focus on UFC. And filming these videos is always tricky because I want to get lines when I see them and like them. But if I wait longer, there's additional lines that come in. For pay-per-view weeks, they're always early. This isn't a pay-per-view week, so they're taking a little longer. I expect tomorrow or later today, they'll have even more options. For example, Joaquin Buckley, we have finishes, we have significant strikes. By the end of the week, by Friday, we're going to have all sorts of higher, lower lines. We're going to see takedowns. We're going to see fantasy points. We're going to see round 1, round 2, round 3. There's going to be probably 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different options per fighter. But I like the lines that I see now, so we're going to film it now. By the time you get here, if you have more options, take a look. Go to my website, wewantpicks.com. Use a couple of the tools to help guide you. You could either use the fight simulator, which will run you through different numbers and how many strikes it thinks a fighter will land, or you can go ahead and use the Prop Hunter. The Prop Hunter is data literally designed to help you build stuff like this. So for now, we're going to work with the options that we do have here, and I think we're pretty good. So let's go ahead and jump right in. If we take a look off the rip, we do have the half a finish line for Joaquin Buckley. I'm not going to touch it. He could potentially finish Kamaru Usman, or this could go 25 full minutes. Kamaru is a vet, could sneak in wrestling when he needs to. We're going to leave that alone. If I were to pick one, I do think the higher would make more sense than the lower, but I'm not going to touch it. If we had a higher, lower finish line on Kamaru Usman, I would do the lower every single time. Every time I would hammer that, but we don't really have that right now. Let's work our way down. We are going to go to the lower on a half a finish by Raoni Barcelos. While I do think he has the potential to win this fight, he's a 5-time national champion Brazilian wrestler, I don't think he's going to win by finish if he wins. First of all, I think he could potentially lose this fight. Cody Garbrandt at one point in time was an all-time great, or at least a great at that time. He's got very good wrestling. He's got very good striking. He's got fantastic footwork. Raoni has a singular game plan. Come forward, get takedowns. And if he does that, he could smother Cody Garbrandt, win a decision. But I don't see him finishing. He doesn't really have the one-punch knockout power. And while he does have good jiu-jitsu, it's not submit Cody Garbrandt good jiu-jitsu. So let's go ahead and do the lower on that fight. We are going to double up that fight. If we go to Cody Garbrandt, I'm going to do the higher on the 30.5 significant strikes because the reality is I think Cody Garbrandt does defend the majority of these takedowns, and I think he does get his hands going. And if he gets his hands going, we need 10 strikes around. 10 strikes around is literally nothing. That is nothing. Here, I'll show you. Hit my number. What'd that take? 2.5 seconds? And just throw them a little harder so they're significant strikes. The reality is Cody Garbrandt should get to this number. He should absolutely get to this number, win or lose. So I think we're good there with the higher on the 30.5 significant strikes. If we continue to work our way down, I am not touching the Brundage-Malik fight. That could go in a million different directions. Same with Alonzo Menafield, Umar Sy, Rodolfo Bellato, and Paul Craig. Same thing. All three of those fights could be early finishes or defy the odds and end up long 15-minute boring slug fights. Michael Chiesa, Court McGee. Michael Chiesa, 2.5 takedowns. I'll add the lower to that. The reality is this is a tough fight between two old dudes. And Michael Chiesa, while he does have wrestling, he's not like a multiple-time national champion. He's not shooting beautiful doubles from the other side of the octagon. He's trying to push you up against the cage, drag you to the ground. He's fighting a very strong, very durable, very experienced Court McGee. And while Michael might have some takedowns, I don't think he's going to get 3. If you run through Court McGee's fight history, there's been very few times that has ever happened, and he's been in the UFC for an incredibly long time. So I don't love the more than 2.5 takedowns. So we're going to do the lower, and it seems like they're onto it, which is why it's 0.89x. If we continue to work our way down, we're going to go to Jamey-Lyn Horth. Her, on the other hand, I do think she'll get a bunch of takedowns. She is big as hell. And while she won't need the takedown, she could totally win a striking-only matchup. What we end up finding in a lot of these fights is any fighter who has the ability to get a takedown, even if they're the better striker and they're landing cleaner, they get hit a few times and then they just go to default. And default is like, let me push him up against the cage and just take him down. I don't like being hit. And I think that's what we're going to get here. Vanessa is going to be the much smaller fighter in this matchup. She is easily taken down. And I think Jamey-Lyn Horth is just going to drag her to the ground at least twice. So we're going to go ahead and add her to the matchup. If we go back up, I said I'm not going to touch the Rodolfo Bellato fight, but you know what? Let's just do it. Okay, let's just do it. Higher on 33.5. If you run through his fight history, his last fight was a full-blown decision, which Paul Craig has been getting finished as of late. But Paul Craig also randomly is tough and durable. And Paul Craig will get in your face. He's not a coward. He's not a coward. When he gets finished, it's just because his body gave up on him. But he's not a coward. So if Paul Craig is in Rodolfo's face and Rodolfo's slinging that leather, I think he can get to 33.5 significant strikes. Now, this is different than the Cody Brunich. When I did the Cody Brunich and I showed you this spectacular technique, we talked about he needs 10 strikes per round. I don't think this goes a full 15 minutes. So this isn't Rodolfo needs 11 per round. This is Rodolfo, if he finishes Paul Craig early, lands a flurry, and in that flurry, he will get busy and land a ton of strikes. And if it goes long, that's better for us. So I do like the higher here as well. Let's go ahead and just throw a quick 20 at it. When you throw money at these entries, you have 2 options. You can do the flex, which will give you the ability to lose. You can miss a few of these lines and still get paid. For example, if I only get 4 of these correct, I lose one of them. Rodolfo Bellato doesn't land 33 significant strikes. I will still make money. I will still turn a profit. If we get all 5 of them correct, then we're going to make some solid money there. If we go to the standard payout, the standard 10 times is our money. What the standard does is it basically doesn't give you any wiggle room whatsoever. So let's take a look at this entry. We got Hani Barcelos, the lower, on a half of a finish. I don't think he's going to finish Cody Garbrandt. On the other side of that coin, Cody Garbrandt, because I don't think he gets finished, will land more than 30.5 significant strikes. Michael Chiesa, we have the lower on 2.5 takedowns. Jamey-Lyn Horth, the higher on 1.5 takedowns. And Rodolfo Bellato, the higher on his significant strike line. Let's go ahead and lock all of this in. We are going to do the flex pay because I am a scaredy cat. But that is the entry, guys. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's fine. Build your own, but get the free money. The money is free. It's free. Get the free money and build your own entry. You could do it on Australian softball. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP.